Hi, welcome to Urban Goes Green on Docklands TV. I'm here today with Annette.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
And Rick.
Hi.
And I met Annette, Nikki and Rick about 60 minutes ago. And we started off at Hub Melbourne and we went for a walk, an excursion walk down to the garden in the Docklands to check it out. And we had a group of about 10 people come down. And then I mentioned Docklands TV and just wanted to see whether they could share their opinions on the garden and Docklands with us on Urban Goes Green, particularly from a sustainability point of view. So who'd like to go first? Annette?
I'd
You've
love
got some
to.
beautiful tomatoes there.
I know. It was such a joy to walk down the concrete causeway, if you like, and come across this garden. It was absolutely beautiful. Herbs, fresh produce, which we've all got. And it just smells so different. It
does. It smells beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You said it actually broke that concrete jungle up and that glare that was there, and because it's quite a warm day today, you stepped inside that greenery because there wasn't a lot of greenery around, and that's one thing I'd like to see is more of edible greenery right throughout the Docklands area. So rather than just the wonderful trees, we saw some nice peppercorn trees, but is there opportunities to be able to introduce the edible aspect within gardens?
You had quite a good idea of, it kind of sounded a bit guerrilla style, just plant edibles. I think that's a really good idea.
Actually, I think the whole movement in the world now for urban farming, so if we can actually use the plant we have and to make the environment better, and also can feed people so they know what they're eating, and it's completely free of all the strange chemicals that people use, that would be great.
And it makes it interesting, like it actually, because food is culture, isn't it? It's sharing, it's enjoying the taste of something and cooking.
And the other thing is, we just started a conversation, so that space helped us know each other and things that we like to do when we were talking about the plants and trying to work out what some of the plants were. And when you're in an apartment, that community can often be missed. And missing, so I see that garden has great potential to help people interact outside of their work, or if they're just stuck in an apartment, they've got an opportunity to go out and know that other people are going to be outside.
It's a good point. Like I noticed in the garden when everyone was there, and this happens all the time, I've seen it time and time again, just conversations, and I call it the conversations in the garden, and it just happens. There's something where something breaks down and they just start to have a conversation with one another. So I don't know, what do you think that is?
Well, we're out in nature.
It's nature,
What I loved about that space too, Emily, was that you were saying that it's been left free. People are respecting that space, they're honouring that space, and they're using it, because how delightful to be able to go and pick our own vegetables.
And that is quite amazing that it's not locked up at all.
No.
And that people are just going and tending when they can, and
we don't have a roster. It just happens. So there's a collective responsibility, and it just happens.
And that's part of the community. And again, just having moved into an apartment, to me that's been missing, and there's great potential for urban gardens to provide that sense of community. And you're also going outside, you're not getting stuck indoors.
Good. And you met someone you knew in the garden, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I was running to a friend there, which is great. I think the location is quite good as well, because Docklands being developing with all the big buildings and all the concrete sort of feelings, and you need some green to sort of break it up a bit and give people a place to hang around, especially after work, or a walk, or even just hang around in their own area. Otherwise it just looks like it's too plain.
That's good. So,
and the walls sort of gave it that sense of space, which they're very creative, those walls. Whereas you could just put plants out there, and that having the walls gave it a bit of safety. People felt like they could go in and start that interaction.
So in terms of Docklands, wider Docklands, what would you like to see for the Docklands? If you were to be given the design contract for Docklands, what would you suggest? Maybe everyone has like 20 seconds each. What you would do?
Well, I'd like to see that replicated around the different areas.
So gardens jutted throughout the precinct.
I think brilliant.
Lower East Side New York sounds like Lower East Side New York to me.
Okay.
Well, I think it will turn whole Docklands into a garden-based space. It will be really, really cool. I know they designed something silly, like a big building with a garden on top of it. It's a great idea, but I think Docklands could just, head down that road as well, turn into a whole garden. How cool is that?
Yeah. It could be quite a unique signature for Docklands, couldn't it?
Well, it will be.
To have greenery everywhere.
Yeah, and I'd like the productive aspect involved in that. So apart from just your native trees or introduced species, but having the food side of it.
Because there's such a strong element there with edibles and people and community.
Yes, as you said, culture,
design element,
interaction.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
for showing
for the opportunity.
For coming down. So, we'll...
I found something at my back door.
Yeah, come and pick herbs whenever you like, as I said. So thank you very much for listening in, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.